LinkedIn Live. Today, I'm really excited to share with you my insights into connecting and how to make it justifiable with the time, energy, and effort that you put into it. And the key to it is really having a roadmap that can leverage the opportunities on LinkedIn from a standpoint of understanding, is this person or future connection somebody who you would consider a valuable client or maybe a valuable associate? And that's really how to look at it. Too many people, including myself early on, were looking at numbers, figuring the bigger the number, the better the audience. And in a lot of cases, that's not true. I was able to achieve over 38,000 connections in just a little bit over a year and a few months. And I would say that out of the 38,000, a very small percentage are people I can call, friends that I've had conversations with, that there's some interest in working together. And the rest are, in a lot of ways, a distraction. Plus, LinkedIn sees who is attracted to you and who's in your community, and they try to match you up with people that you already have, assuming that's some relevance to having them in the first place. So that's another challenge, that if they're not relevant, you're going to get more of what you don't really want. So what I would suggest is really having a qualifying process. So in other words, whether someone reaches out to connect to you or you choose to do some outbound, which I think is the preferable way, really decide, what qualifications do you want before you can approve somebody. Typically, what I look at is, naturally what their profile looks like. The next big area I go to is activity level. If someone's not posting, if someone's not on LinkedIn doing anything, they're worthless. I mean, hate to say it, but they're not doing anything for themselves. They're not going to be doing anything with you. So that's really key. And there is on the filters, when you can look people up, and if you get Sales Navigator, that's more money, but it gives you a lot more filters, a lot more capability and power. They have a filter that says posted in the last 30 days. I usually like to find those people who are like that because, in a way, what you're trying to do is not only build your community, but amplify your message through people that have audiences and post themselves. And that's where tagging can come into play and other advanced strategies. So that's another thing. The other one is, how many connections do they have? What are they posting? Who's responding to their post? What type of response are they getting as far as likes, comments, shares? So I think it really deserves the time and attention to decide, who do you want to do business with? I think it's easier to accept about anybody virtually, but take it to the physical world, and who would you want to be meeting right now, and what could you do if you met with them? And if you look at it and say, wow, time differences, language differences, you're looking for alignment. You're not looking for differences and trying to figure out how to bridge them. There's 810 million people on LinkedIn. If anything, you're looking to bring it down. How many are you looking for whatever you're looking for? 2, 5, 6 against millions, hundreds of millions? It's your role to really state exactly as specifically as you can what you're here for. Why not make it as quick as you can? And why confuse people or take people through extra steps when up front they could have known, hey, it doesn't look like a good fit, and vice versa. And, I think that's really the key, is not how many people you work with, but how well do you work with the people you work with? And how many can you work with? Get your numbers straight and then look to LinkedIn to see how you can satisfy them. And then when you do get connections, and that's another element, what are you doing to support them? What are you doing to build a relationship beyond LinkedIn, to have, Zoom calls? That's important. Too many people go out and find connections, then expect them to do something for them, and they go out and find more connections, and all of a sudden they're stockpiling these connections that they were so important to connect with, but they're not important enough to pursue. And in that case, you're really working on a vanity number. So who's fooling who? You got a lot of nothing, because, for LinkedIn to work, you have to work it. So I think connections are key. I mean, that's who you're working with. The question again is, who are you looking for? And what are you looking to do in order to earn their trust so that you can have a conversation? Are you really being the better you? Are your comments something that anybody who's reading them could say, well, this person put a lot of thought, actually read or watched what I had? And that's another thing. How many times do you get a great comment? If you're lucky, once a day. If you're not, once or whatever. It stands out when it happens. My goal is to find connections that I want to do business with, not someone who just says I can pay you, or I want to do business with you. No, it has to be at minimum a two-way street. And if you're doing the choosing, it should be your way. So the key then is, how many outbound connection requests are you making? And prior to making those requests, how well have you developed some sort of rapport or dialogue? If you just reach out to a connection who you don't know, they're going to first of all ask why. Then they're going to look at who are you and why would I want to connect with you if they're smart. Well, if you already have some sort of relationship by you supporting their post and doing it in a really professional, respectful way, after 2 or 3 of these opportunities, they're going to have no other choice, even out of guilt, than to thank you and want to reciprocate. And at that point, you're in a better position to say, hey, based on, our collaboration that we've had so far, let's have a call. Well, at least now you're meeting at an equal plane. You're not just looking up and reaching up and expecting a hand to come down to help you out, right? So, you got to really put some thought into it. It's, in a way, what's good for you is good for people just like you. So how you respond will be how other people respond. And I think the other key distinction on LinkedIn is that most people who come in from the outside come in with a buy, a take, and ask. They're like a bull in a china store. The way to win on LinkedIn is to bring value first, build trust, support, show, that you're dependable, that you're consistent. I've been posting every day for 900 days. To me, it's fun. This is my second LinkedIn Live today, and I've developed collaboration groups, podcasts. I just started my newsletter, got over 8,000 or so in just 2 weeks, subscribers. I mean, this is fantastic. Got approved for LinkedIn Audio. We'll be starting that soon. I mean, there's so much you can do on this platform. And the key thing is to know who you want to do it with. And then you have to have value when you get together, because all this does is get you to a conversation outside of LinkedIn. And that's where the rubber meets the road. You've got to have something to show. If not, you wasted a lot of time, not only yours, but a lot of other people. And you don't want to do that. And that's why I've established this new LinkedIn game plan training that's on the bottom of the screen. You can visit doncohenconsulting.com and see details. This really can compress your time frame. It can make you from frustrated to fascinated. And it's really built on what I do every day. And my philosophy is if you do what I do the way I do it and understand what's involved, you'll get the same results I do. And you'll get the same results same day. So if you want to move to the fast lane, connections is just one facet of having a strong LinkedIn game plan. And there's so much other elements that after doing this for so many days and so many ways, it's easier to share what I'm doing than for you to figure it out on your own. So anyways, with that said, thanks for taking the time. Share this video with anybody who you think could benefit from it, and look forward to our next get together.